Hey everybody, Dr. Green here, and I'm going to walk you through some basic examples of building some C++ code with some build tools. So you'll see here I am in VS Code. I have two projects here. The first one I'm going to walk you through is the CS3540 Makefile. Now you'll note here the first thing I want you to see is the structure of my project. Generally, I tend to build my projects with a very similar structure. I have a top level folder with a default where I will do all my building, and include where I will include header files and other libraries, and a source directory where I will include my driver. So you will see here I have a main.cpp. This is straightforward C++, so I don't think there's a lot of reason to tell you what's going on. We include some files, we have a main, we have a loop that calculates Fibonacci numbers, and we return 0. It's very straightforward. It shows us exactly what's going on. Inside include, I have my fib.h and fib.cpp. You will see my fib.h is built the way it should. Some of the stuff you may not be used to. I've created a namespace here called fib. You can do that in C++. That's how you create other namespaces, like a namespace standard. And then I've created a single function, which I want to be external from elsewhere. You'll note here that it is declared as extern since it is not part of a class or a struct or anything like that, and I still want it to be accessible from outside. The implementation of that is found in here. I redeclare the namespace, or redefine it, not even redefine or redeclare. I indicate the namespace this is part of, and then I define my function fib, and you'll see this is general Fibonacci number code. This is all straightforward to this part. If I wanted to compile this, you'll check out my terminal down here. I could go into my directory, and I could easily say g++ source main.cpp and include /fib.cpp, and then I would do a -i and say include. Right? So if I type this, you'll see that this should compile just fine. We'll give it one moment here. There we go. We got an a.out right in my directory, and you'll see I can run it, and it gives me the same right information. Okay, so now this is messy. I have this a.out. I'm going to remove that so I can compile that. But obviously, I don't want to be typing that all the time, which is where the Makefile comes in. So what I do is in my default directory, I create a Makefile. You'll see I've named it Makefile, all lowercase. And here is the code. All I have is make all, and basically I've added what you saw. g++ -v ... /source / main.cpp. Note I'm using relative pathing here, and that pathing is relative to this directory and the Makefile. The -I indicates a directory to include. The -O is my output. Okay, I'm going to change this to just fib since I'm on a Mac. I originally did this on Windows. And I also have a cleanup that says remove ... /bin /*, so that removes all this extra stuff that's in there. So you'll see if I go into my default directory, I can just type make all. Oh, looks like we have some issues here. Let's see what's going on. POSIX Darwin install directory. It's giving me lots of stuff, lots of stuff, lots of stuff. All right. This is actually just output. It's from that -v. If I remove that -v, you will say I can do this, and it just goes. I'm on a Mac, so this is using Clang. On Windows or another system, you may have to install things and set them up a little differently. But fundamentally, this is what you do. This is great. This is a Makefile. It automates my building. I can say make clean. Right, remove. Okay, there we go. So that stuff is now done. I still have my Makefile, all this stuff. This is great. I've also added my git ignore for C++ and for Visual Studio and VS Code. So I will make this available to you, and it is a basic example.